Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Minecraft Debunked. I am just taking the time to get some of these cows back in here. I was thinning the herd a little bit, getting some steak and also some leather. We're going to need that here in just a few minutes, but these guys are being a little bit difficult. And if I can get them to come back in here like they're supposed to, that would be pretty awesome. It would surely help me out a lot. You guys are stubborn. Come on. Come here. Come on. You. Come. You. Get out of the way. There you go. All because... Hey, come here. All because you got cranky. Get out of the way. Move. Come on, Bessie. No, no. What are you doing? Go back in there. Thank you. Kids these days, what are you going to do with them? Okay, so we've got a little bit of leather, and I got some raw beef here that we're going to cook up. I'm going to throw that in a furnace over here. I did just a little bit out here, a little bit of stuff with the path. Yeah. Kind of gives it a little bit of a worn look, like people have been walking around and trotting this down a lot over time. And so I got these blocks here. These are coarse dirt, and you get those by putting gravel and regular dirt together. And what that does is that keeps the grass from spreading. So that kind of gives you a little bit of a patchwork type look, and I like that a lot. Kind of makes it look like, you know, we're trotting down all this grass path and everything going over here to our mine shaft, and the same thing heading over to our farm. Really kind of adds to the immersion of the area. Let's go in here and let's just put this in there and let that start cooking up for us. And then we're going to go downstairs to the mine shaft, and I'll show you what I have done. It's a little bit of a trek down there, but while we're going down the ladder, hopefully you guys are doing great and enjoying yourselves. It's cold here where I'm at. We've got some freezing rain going on, or we did earlier today. Not my favorite. Don't mind the snow, but certainly do not care for ice. So here is the product right now. I've kind of cleaned things up. You notice we had some chests over here and over here. I cleaned those up, and then I also added these fences to the inside here. Not sure if I like them. I kind of like them, but it just adds a little bit more to everything. And by the way, guys, right now I am playing with shaders on just to kind of show you what this looks like. I love shaders in Minecraft. It makes it look so good. So good. We'll take them off here in just a minute because I know some of you guys don't play with them on. But if anybody wants a tutorial on how to put shaders on, let me know and I can make that happen. There's a bunch out there on the internet already, so if you need to see one of those, you can go look that up too. But here is the rest of our mine shaft. You can see I did the texturing on the walls and the floor, and the same thing up here. So I just finished this out, and that is where we're at. So tell you what, let me take these shaders off, and then we're going to put down a crafting table, and we're going to make some item frames, and I'll show you how we're going to use those down here in just a moment. So I will be back with you shortly. All right, we're back, and we've got the shaders off. Just doesn't look quite the same down here, but it still looks good. Still looks good. I like it. I like it a lot. But, okay, crafting table. Bam. In here, you need your leather. Put that in the center, and then you're going to need yourself some wonderful sticks. And you are going to surround that with sticks, and you get this item frame. And for right now, let's just go ahead and make all 8, because I got a feeling we're going to need them. So an item frame is something that we can put down on a chest or any surface, including on the ground, and we can do some pretty cool things with them. What we're going to use them for is to label what's in these chests, so that way I don't have to guess. Now, there's a couple different ways to do it. You can shift and put it directly on the chest, which is kind of nice. The only thing I don't like is that you have a little bit of a limited space to open things up. It's not too bad. We may actually go with that on these chests over here. And I think we will. So let's go ahead and do that. And look, I need more. Should have just made them all. I don't know why you guys didn't tell me to make them all. And we'll do that there. And then we're going to come over here. And this stuff over here is a little bit different story. I already kind of know what's over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put down 1 right here. And the reason being is I know that in these chests, these are all going to be dedicated to cobble. And then I've got some stone over here, but largely that's what's going to be there. So what you can do is you can take an item and you come up here and you right click and bam, there you go. You've got an item in the item frame. And if you right click again, you can rotate it. To get that item back, we have to go in and break it. So if I smack it with something, it'll come out, or you can break your item frame and it'll give you that back. So you don't lose that item. Let's put that back on there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and over here I am going to take some stuff out and I'm going to put those items in those item frames so that I can see what this stuff is. Some of these chests are empty. I'm going to make this the lapis one. It's one of my shinies. This is going to be andesite, so we just need 1 of those. So we'll do andesite here, then we'll do gravel. I've already got a little bit of gravel on me. Then we'll do redstone up here, and we'll do granite. Then we'll do diorite and dirt. So that just gives me a nice little representation of what goes where. So when I get done mining, I come back up here and I can just figure out where stuff goes. And I don't have to guess. It's pretty nice. And then obviously most of what you're going to be bringing back with you from your mining adventures is cobble. So we're going to put that cobble over there. I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to put this stuff up that I've got in my inventory that goes down here for right now. And we are done down here for now. I've done a lot of mining. Well, not a lot. I've done a decent amount of mining just to go and get some resources. And I've got a couple surprises down there that we're going to talk about in one of the next couple of episodes. So stay tuned for that. But today we are going to do a little bit about villagers and villages. We're also going to maybe get started with some fishing. And I know what you're thinking, fishing really in Minecraft? Trust me guys, it's awesome. It's pretty cool. You can do some amazing things with it. So give me a second here to get some things situated, and I'm going to go ahead and sleep if I've got a bed on me. And then I'm going to go up and I'm going to head over to the village that we've got near us, and I will catch you when I get there. Welcome back, everybody. We are headed over to our village. And if you guys remember from the previous episodes, it's not too far away. We got this village right here, and you can see one of our little villagers over there. We want to spend a little bit more time talking about these fun things because they don't just happen randomly. They actually have a few purposes. And I'm not going to get into all of it today by any means because, well, we would be here for a long time. But we are going to start getting into using villagers and villages for some pretty cool things as we go through this series. So to start with, you have villages that spawn in different biomes. Now, if you didn't know, Minecraft has several different biomes. You've seen this, that's a desert biome. You've seen over there where we're at, it's kind of a plains biome. I'm not sure what it's actually called because I haven't looked, I'll be real honest. But there's other biomes that are around in Minecraft. And generally speaking, deserts and plains have a pretty high chance for spawning villages. Now, not to say that others don't, but they're pretty easy to find in these because, well, it's wide open. So they have random structures that generate, and there's different things that each one has. And some of them have chests in them. Some of them already have tables and things in them. But some things you need to keep in mind with villages is they can be raided by illagers. And we haven't experienced one of those yet. If you look in my inventory, you can see I have this ominous banner. That's actually from some illagers that were, or pillagers rather, that were running around. And once we see them again, I will show them to you because there's certain things you have to know about them. But for right now, just know that they can come and they can raid these guys and they can kill them. And we don't want that to happen. The other thing to keep in mind is that sometimes, well, actually, anytime it's nighttime and you have a village that's loaded, you will have zombies that will want to come over and they will try and basically eat your villagers, and they'll turn them into zombie villagers or just kill them. And we don't want that to happen. So keep that in mind. If it gets late in the day and you can sleep, especially if you are around your village, make sure you do that if these guys are not well protected, or you will lose your villagers. They will not respawn. There is a way to breed them, which we're going to get into later, not today, but in another episode. We're going to talk about how we can use these villagers to our advantage. So now I've talked enough about the village itself. Let's talk about the villagers. So the villagers have different jobs. You can see this guy right here. He's got this thing down, and this is a composting bin. And if I right click on him, he is a farmer, and he is saying, hey, if you give me wheat, 20 wheat or 15 beetroot, I will give you an emerald. Well, what's some of these others guys say? If I come over here, I've got another farmer. He's got the same thing. But if I come over to this farmer, what does he say? Okay, he would like potatoes or beetroot in order to give me emeralds. So there's different ones that can spawn. And there's all kinds of different jobs. This guy we looked at earlier is a mason. There's different jobs that these guys can have depending on what block they have for their job. And we'll talk more about that later. You heard this guy was making things. If we were to trade with him and he was to like us a bunch, he would unlock new things here that we can buy from him. And sometimes it's certain blocks. If you get an armorer, they'll have different armor stuff. You can get guys that'll give you weapons, and the farmers will give you stuff. You can get guys that are cartographers that will give you maps, and they're pretty cool. So this is one of the reasons why we have been making our farms over there, so that we can interact with these guys and we can trade. For one, we get cool emeralds, but for two, we get experience off of it, and three, we can get some really cool stuff. You can get enchanted books, you can get hard to find items, and it's just a really good deal. So keep that in mind. Now, a little bit more about trading. If I go over here and I try and right click on these guys, some of these guys will not do anything other than make that grumpy noise at me. You hear him making that noise. But I believe this guy is a villager, but I don't think he has a job. Some of these guys are what they call nitwits, meaning they will not ever have a job. So we could, in theory, make something and give it to this guy, set it down and let him come over, and he may pick that job. And if he does, then we can start trading things with him. Keep in mind, though, if you start trading with one of the villagers, you cannot undo it. Once you start trading, they are locked in. Now, there's some pretty cool things we can do later on where we can get better trades. Like we can let these guys become zombie villagers and then turn them back, which we will probably do here at some point, but not today. So it's getting kind of late. Let me sleep so I can make sure these guys are well protected. And when I get back up, we will talk a little bit more about trading and some of the things that we're planning on doing later on in this season. And we're back from our nap. Everybody's nice and safe. So I was talking a few minutes ago about possible things we could do with villagers. First thing that we can do is we can actually make a trading hall with these guys. And if you've watched some other Minecraft guys, you've probably seen people make these trading halls. They're pretty popular, and what we can do is we can actually breed up these villagers, and then we can give them jobs, and we can take them over by our base, and we can put together a nice home for them where they're nice and protected. And then we can take advantage of these trades, and we can get the trades for them anytime we want. So that's one thing we can do. I also mentioned that we can breed up these villagers. So that's one way of, if you just have 2 villagers, you can breed these guys up. Now, if you remember back to the very first episode when I was running around over here, there was a baby villager, and I believe it was this house or one of them. I was over here, and he like jumped up here and like jumped out of the window, acting all crazy like. So that is what happens if the right conditions are met. They will spawn another villager, and then they'll grow up, and you'll have another villager that you can use for trading. Another thing that we could do is, if we are breeding up villagers and we have a couple, 3, I think it takes at least 4, we can actually use these guys to make iron farms. Now, the way that we do that is some of these villages have an iron golem in them, and there's certain things that have to be met. And if they are, and there's an iron golem that spawns, we can actually kill the iron golem and get all his drops, which is iron, and then they'll spawn another one and another one and another one. So that's one of the ways we can make an iron farm. And again, some of the guys that you've seen around on the internet have made those. Those are pretty cool. And we're definitely going to be making one here later. For right now, what I want to do, though, is, because I'm not overly concerned about some of these trades being locked, I'm going to trade with this guy. I've got a little bit of wheat on me. You can see this person is looking for 20 wheat. So if I put this up here, you can see I get a little bit of progress, and I get that emerald, and I unlock an enchantment. Or I'm sorry, an advancement, not an enchantment. So that's all I can do with him right now. If I click on him again, you'll see nothing's there. Now, I have to level him up in order to make that happen. So I tell you what, these guys have all this wheat around here and they're not using it. Let's just pick this stuff up, and we're going to make it into some wheat, and we're going to trade with these guys and see if we can't get a level unlocked. So if you didn't know, hay bales, you put it in there, that is 9 wheat. So that gives me plenty of wheat. Let me come back over here to my guy. And okay, this is the same one. So let's go ahead and let's put this in here. And boom, boom, boom. Okay, we're just about ready to unlock. You can see how much that's going up, and we're almost there. I think we might have gotten there. So if I pull this wheat out and I back up, he is going to reset. You see those purple particles? That is what we wanted. So now when we click on him, look, he says, hey, if you give me 6 pumpkins, I'll give you an emerald. Or you can give me an emerald and I'll give you 4 pumpkin pie. Well, pumpkin pies are pretty awesome. Just saying. But we still have our wheat trade open. So it's not going to give us as much as it used to, but still going to give us quite a bit. So let me go over here where all of this stuff is, and let's just get a few more of these, and we will trade with him again and just see what happens. Okay, once again, let me put this up here and get my wheat. We're going to run back over here. And let's go ahead and get this. See how it doesn't give me nearly as much this time, but it still gives me some. And eventually this trade will lock, meaning he will not do that trade with me anymore. And we haven't gotten to that point yet, so he's pretty eager to get plenty of wheat from us. Now, let's just go ahead and see what this does. You see, if I click on this, it brings all those emeralds up here. It says, hey, this is what you can trade for. Well, let's just get some pumpkin pies because they're pretty awesome, and see if we can't get this guy to level up with us again. Okay, all but 3 emeralds. Was that enough? Do I need to do one more trade with you? I think I need to do one more trade, and I think I can do it with some wheat. Let me come over here and let me grab 2 more things of wheat. Make sure I've got enough. Okay, we got enough. Come back over here and see if we can unlock him again. We want to see what his next trade is. Okay. Now the wheat, you see, now that we've traded with him, he is giving us better prices. So if I do that, now we've gone, and I think we've unlocked him again. There we go. There's our purple particles. So let's click on him. Now he's giving us better prices for some of this stuff. And he says, hey, if you give me 2 emeralds, I'll give you 18 cookies. And if you give me 3 melons, I will give you an emerald. That's a really good deal because we've got some melons over there. So this is kind of how you can go through and progress through your trades. Okay, enough about trading for right now. I want to go and I want to spend a couple of minutes doing some fishing. And let me go over here back to the house and grab what we need, and I'll be back with you as soon as I can grab that stuff. And we're back at the house, and let's go over here and let's go and type in. We got some string in our inventory and we got some sticks. I think we got enough. I might need more sticks. I might have lied. Let's go ahead and just grab more sticks here. Let's go here and let's type in fishing rod. And if I click on this guy, 3 sticks and 2 pieces of string give you a fishing rod. And you might be thinking, okay, why would I want to go fishing in Minecraft? Well, the reason you want to go fishing in Minecraft is because you can actually get enchanted books and name tags and saddles and all kinds of fun stuff from fishing. And this is pretty powerful. When we talk about enchanting next episode, we're going to talk about some enchants that you can apply to this guy here to make it even better. Little bit of a spoiler alert. What you're going to look for is mending. You're going to look for unbreaking, lure, which is going to make the whole fishing process a little faster, and luck of the sea. And we'll talk more about those later. And we're getting kind of close to dark, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how this works. All you need to fish is a single solitary block of water. It could literally be a block of water like this one right here, believe it or not. The other thing you need is you need to have a clear view to the sky. You can have any block over the top of this that you want, or over your head up in the sky, as long as it can see the sky. So you could put glass up there or something that is a transparent block. So all you have to do, we're going to come over here just so you can see a little bit better, is right click and your bobber goes out there and it starts popping up and down. And here eventually you're going to see some things happen. And you can see over here that we got little splashes and stuff going on. And eventually we're going to see some little trails come up and our bobber is going to go down, and we're going to have to right click in order to get that out. So let's give this just a few seconds here. And I think, oh, there we go. So as soon as I heard that noise, I right clicked, and what did I get? I got a raw cod. Now, this is actually a pretty darn good way of just getting something to eat, because we can cook these fish up And these fish are actually a pretty good source of food. Let me see what I get on this try, and then we're going to have to put a bed down real quick or run inside and sleep so that we don't have any nasty mobs that come out and say hi. But if we don't get one here pretty soon, we're going to go ahead. There we go. Boom. Okay, so I got another cod. Okay, let me go in and sleep, and then we'll come back out and we'll do a little bit more fishing. And we're up bright and early, and we had a couple of things spawn. Let me take care of this skeleton here. And he didn't drop anything good. We'll use the bones, though, and the arrows. Let's go back over here and let's do some more fishing, and let's see if we can't get something good. Now, I alluded to in the next episode, we're going to talk about enchanting, and that's one of the things that we want to do is we want to get an enchanted fishing rod because that's going to make things easier. You can see as I fish, I have durability on my fishing rod. You can see that down there in the bottom. Now, we don't want to use this up or it's going to break, or we want it to last longer. So as you can see, you have durability on your fishing rod. You can see that down here in the bottom. So in order to make sure that we don't break our fishing rod, especially when we get the nice enchants on it, we want to make sure we get unbreaking. And there's different levels of unbreaking. We're going to get into that a little bit more in the next episode. And then I also talked about we can get a thing called mending, which is going to use experience in order to give us stuff. You can hear we just leveled up there. So we are getting experience from doing this. And mending, what it does, it takes your XP and applies it to whatever you have in your hands. The other thing we want is lure, which is going to make the fish come, or whatever we can find, come quicker. And then luck of the sea just increases the chance of what we get. We actually can even get other enchanted rods. You see there that I think I picked up a bone. We have picked up a lily pad, which have some decent little uses. And there's all kinds of other stuff you can pick up. I think you can get sticks. I think you can get leather. And of course, we've talked about the books and other enchanted fishing rods. I want to come in here and I want to cook up some of this fish that we've got. We've got a little bit, and I know we don't have a full 8 pieces to justify using a full piece of coal, but I'll put that in there, and then when this gets cooked up, we'll actually switch this out and we'll put the salmon in there. But I want to show you guys what that does as far as food. Let me come over here and let me put some of this stuff up real quick. I've got some leather, and we've got our string, and we've got some arrows, and let me come down here, and we got some seeds. I forgot we got pumpkin pie we can have. We got some steak over here, and we got lots of good stuff. So while this is finishing up, let me grab this. I can eat this cooked cod, and it's gonna give me quite a bit of hunger regen and quite a bit of saturation. So it's a pretty good food source. So it's just something that's pretty nice. While you're out fishing, you can go ahead and you can grab food, and you can get other cool stuff. And again, this is going to come into play a lot once we get into enchanting in the next episode, because you're going to find out that you can actually get a few of the books that we need for enchanting from fishing. So, okay, that didn't have enough to cook. That's fine. We'll pull those back out. I've got plenty of food. You see, I got 25 steak. I'm actually going to come over here and I'm going to make, I think I got one of these. No, I don't. I'm going to go ahead and right here, I'm going to make this kind of a food chest, I think. And I'm going to put in the raw salmon, and I'm going to go ahead and put in the pumpkin pie and part of our steak. That way, if we decide to die, like how I said, decide to die, we have some pretty good food that we can come back here and get. And I'm just going to keep a little bit on me because I've got some cooked salmon here. I've got cooked cod, I've got baked potatoes, and I've got steak. So that's a pretty good amount for right now. let me put this weed away, and I'll also put this lily pad in here. Okay, that is going to wrap things up for today's episode. Hopefully you guys found something informative in here. If you didn't already know about villagers and trading and all the fun stuff we can do there, or fishing, if you guys aren't fishing, you guys are missing out, especially when we get into enchanting next episode. We're going to find out that you can get some pretty good stuff from fishing and from trading with your villagers. So, spoiler alert, next episode, we're going to make our first diamond pick, and then we're going to do some enchanting, and hopefully we get a good enchant. I found some diamonds down below in our mine, and if we get a good enough enchant, we're going to use that new diamond pick to get those diamonds out. So, let me know down in the comments below, what are some of your favorite enchants? Do you guys like to fish in Minecraft? And do you guys do any villager trading halls? Leave a comment down below about any of that stuff, guys. It really lets me know if you guys like what you're seeing or not. And as always, throw a like on there if you've learned something new. I have been Debunkness. You guys have been awesome, and I will see you guys in the next episode.